Well, you mentioned you're going to go get another belt and another belt and another belt. How are you going to navigate what you can do next? I mean, you've got options, right? And it's not about the money, but you've got other champions out there. Is it,
It-
it
but I will tell you this right now too. It's
mm,
not just about.
mm,
It's about giving you guys the biggest fight imaginable.
man, that's
It's
what
not.
that's what Turkey's about, right? Biggest fights.
I don't think Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia two is a big fight.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to
I
ask
don't,
you about
I
that.
don't think that's a big fight. I don't think
No.
Canelo Crawford's a big fight.
No?
I think Canelo's a great. I think Canelo Benavidez is a big fight.
I think that's huge.
I don't think a dude moving up three weight divisions to go fight a dude that's twice his size. I know he looked bigger than him the other day, but I mean, obviously,
Mhm.
regardless, I don't think that that's how you. That's not making a big fight.
What
A
what
big
what is what is making a big fight? Like, how do you make a big fight?
You take the best person in one weight division, you put another person in the weight division, make a big fight, or you get two stars that are entertaining as hell, and you make a big fight like that.
But how do you even find? Okay, let's look at your division right now, 147. When you say you get two stars that are entertaining, obviously, you've got someone like a Jerron Ennis. I don't know if he's a big star, and I don't know
Well,
how. And
I'm not gonna take anything away from Boots. Boots is a tremendous fighter. He beat Stanionis. He looked amazing with Stanionis, right?
Mhm,
And it was a fight where I thought Stanionis was going to give him a lot more problems, and he completely shut him out,
mhm.
right? And then there's Brian Norman, who like I say, he just beat the shit out of this gritty Puerto Rican dude that had a like 24 had one decision and all the rest all knockouts.
Yep.
And then we got Barrios, who's been in mega fights with Thurman, with Tank, and might be going on a mega fight with
Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
So you know, mm, out of all three of them, in reality, the biggest star power is honestly Barrios.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not gonna count Pacquiao because Pacquiao, retired. He coming back.
But if Pacquiao
And,
wins,
yeah, Pacquiao wins. I mean, Rolly Pacquiao,
obviously,
Rolly Pacquiao. Did you think I'm not gonna do that? I'm gonna
bro.
do Rolly,
Hold on, say that again.
Rolly
Rolly
Pacquiao,
versus
bro.
Pacquiao.
Rolly Pacquiao, bro. What are you talking? Wait, what are we talking about? Yeah, we're gonna.
Actually,
But
actually,
that
actually, hold up. Whose name goes first on the billing? Is it Rolly Pacquiao? Is it Pacquiao Rolly? Rolly Pacquiao?
I mean, if he would win, he would have the WBC. So I would say, Pacquiao.
He's the legend.
Yeah,
You would let him
yeah,
take the top billing.
yeah. He's a legend. He deserved it, bro. How many pay-per-views this motherfucker had?
Yeah.
What you talking about, bro?
What are we talking
It's even
about?
an opportunity to share the ring with him.
Right, bro. But think about that, bro. Did you even envision that? Holy shit, this could be a reality that I could actually be fighting Manny Pacquiao if he were to beat Mario Barrios.
But like I said, like that's one of those fights where it's like, I want to give the biggest fights imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like any like like I said, Jerome is a tremendous fighter and all stuff, but he still hasn't got put to the point where he's like a complete see where he's seen as a star. He's not gonna sell out a venue. He's not gonna be able to sell a bunch of pay-per-views for a minute. He has to fight a guy that can do that. And like I said, I'm not taking anything from Jerome Ennis. I know he will be there at one point, but right now he's not there yet. So I mean, like I said, there's a few other fights that, like I said, that could be lined up for me that I know are big pay-per-view fights. Like I said, obviously, me and Barrios was cool, so I'm not gonna even say Barrios. But me and Pacquiao, obviously. Me and Ryan fight again. Me and Broner, that's the biggest shit talk fest in history.
Yo, it's
You
funny you
know?
say that. Broner commented on the fight, but I ironically though, this is the funny part. Broner commented on the fight. He posted something on Instagram, Um, and then he made a call out, but it wasn't to you. It was to everybody that lost. It was to Ryan. It was to Jose and to Barboza, which I
Yeah.
thought was funny. But shout out to Adrian Broner, man.
I fuck with Broner though. I fuck
Nah,
with
he's cool,
Broner,
bro. He's
but
cool.
but but
And
I mean
can you
that would
picture
be
that fight?
that would be entertaining, and then there's also me and Tank rematching, which I don't think he'll come up to 47,
Wow.
and I definitely don't think I'll ever make 40 again. There's no way.
Wow. Any possibility for catch weight? Maybe if Tank was like, I'll do 144, which I don't see him saying that either. But
Yeah, but still, regardless, I mean, like I said, maybe Tank will. I mean, will take the opportunity to be a four division world champion.
good point. Good point. You never
You
know.
know, so I mean, those are I mean, those are all pay-per-view fights.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I said, me and Devin could be on pay-per-view.
I mean, can you though? Yeah, you think that's a like? I'm just asking, just
I
because of
I
Devin's last performance, just
Yeah, no,
because.
no, no. Like, yeah, he has to make a comeback after the last performance before that. But like, yeah, I just completely shut out the fact that he just did that.
By the way, I'm not. Listen, he got the win. He won every round. I don't want the Haney's mad at me. I just
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just know other fans they weren't happy with the performance. They weren't happy with the entertainment value, which is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. But yeah, no, so like there's that fight. Where it's like, you know, it really like Brian Norman and Boots, they still haven't had those star fights yet. Like, and like I said, I fuck with both of I fuck with everybody in all the champions in the division. I fuck with every single one of them.
Mm,
It's
mm.
just, you know, it's
That
not
don't
at the it's
that don't
not
make it
at
hard to
the
fight him though.
nah, I don't give a fuck about that shit. If I'm gonna whoop your ass, I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass. I, I will spank that ass. No. But no, no, that's what I mean though. Like when it comes down to when it comes down to like I'm just thinking about like there's like a lot of fights that can happen that would be big for the boxing world. Yeah. And like I said, those are the fights that need to happen to grow the sport.
Do you feel like some of those guys need to really make sure that you know they put a little more effort into entertaining in their fights. And again, I'm not saying that I'm not like I don't mean you got to go out and slug or do things like that. But like let's say Tio, like Tio's performance, even though Tio got a little criticism for the performance too, it wasn't a barn burner or anything like that. I still feel like Tio, at least while he was in the ring, he was trying to entertain. You know what I mean? Like he was
Yeah,
dancing.
yeah, but that's just Tio.
Yeah.
Tio doesn't do it for y'all. He do it for him. He's like, I guarantee you, Tio goes home at night and he'll be like, "Damn, did you see what I did, bro? That was the coolest thing ever, man. Look, I did this Fortnite in the middle of in the middle, Fortnite dance in the middle of the ring."
It's entertaining though, and I do think that that adds a little like.
I don't think Tio does it for anybody. I think he does it for him.
But if you take that out of that fight would have that might not have been quite as fun. So I do
Yeah,
think that
Barboza's a difficult fight though, man.
he's a smart fighter. He's a smart. He's
No, no,
smart.
and it's not even just that. Just how many rounds has Barboza had in the last
Mm, yeah.
those rounds they add up. He's been by far the most active fighter on that card.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Barboza and Tio, I saw a picture. I don't know if Tio, I don't know who posted it, but it was you and Tio together. And I know that, you guys were tight, were really cool. Not sure if you had a falling out and got back together. Don't know what's going on with that relationship. But is there a possibility, just because I know Tio has called out Jaron Ennis, is that something you would even entertain, a fight with Tio?
See, look, if Tio, like for instance, beats Jerome Ennis or Jerome Ennis beats Tio, like for instance, that would give Jerome Ennis like that star power, where it's like now Jerome Ennis is like, that dude. It's like the same thing as like him and Brian Norman. If Brian Norman would beat a Tio, that would give him that star power, where to make a big, big, big fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It would be great. And again, this doesn't have to be a turkey thing, a PBC, whatever. But um, what might be nice is to see Jerron and Tio fight, and then you and the Barrios/Pacquiao winner fight, right? And then the winners of those fights come back together for a unification. Could you imagine if that would be
Man,
even?
if I get Pacquiao, man, I'm gonna have like 3, 4, 5, 6 rematch clauses. No, I'm just look at me, Pacquiao. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, getting a 5-fight deal with you.
Hey, 5 fight deal. Make it just close enough to get the next one. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, hey.
Yo,
Let,
yo,
let him beat me 8 rounds and land a lucky punch just to get another one. No,